Hello everybody and welcome to another maths lesson. Today we are going to have another think about 2D shapes. Hopefully you've all had a chance to watch a bit of Numberblocks, the Flatland episode, to find out a little bit more, and hopefully you're feeling really good about 2D shapes after your lesson yesterday. So today we're just going to do a recap because we know that in school we do a few days really making sure that we were secure on each concept. So looking back at 2D shapes, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to remind ourselves of what we've learned. So the first thing I'd like you to do is have a look at these 2D shapes. You can see all of their names reminding us of the names of them. And I want you to look at their properties. Now, later on in today's lesson, we're going to play a game. It's going to be a guess the shape game, guess the 2D shape. So if you haven't already, now would be a really good time to pause the video, have a look at all of these shapes, and you can either draw them and cut them out, or you can just draw them onto pieces of paper and put them in because you're going to need them later. So have a look at these 2D shapes. If you don't have them already, now's a really good time to draw them and make them ready for our game. So the top one here is I hope you said triangle. It's got 3 corners, 3 vertices and 3 sides. So you could draw your triangle on one piece of paper or draw it on a piece of paper and cut it out. You might decide to draw your square. We know this is a square because it has what? That's right, 4 sides and 4 corners, 4 vertices, but not just any 4 sides. When it's a square, we know it's a square because they are 4 what sort of sides? That's right, 4 equal sides. They are all the same length. Next we have that's right, it's a circle. 1 curved side, no vertices, no corners, a circle. So hopefully you'll have drawn a triangle, a square and a circle. You may have tried to draw this one, a bit trickier, this one. This is a hexagon with our 6 sides and our 6 corners, our 6 vertices. Then we have that's right, pentagon. A pentagon has how many sides and how many corners? That's right, 5 sides and 5 corners. Over here we have our rectangle. How is a rectangle different to a square? Very similar, but a bit different. How do we know the difference? I hope you said it has got 4 sides and 4 corners, just like our square, but a rectangle has 2 longer sides and 2 shorter sides. Over here, we have one that looks very much like a circle, just like a squished circle. Should be the shape of your face. It's an oval. This one here is very tricky, a heptagon. It has 7 sides and 7 corners, you're right. And over here are one that's a little bit like our octopus. It's an octagon, and it's called an octagon like an octopus because it has, that's right, 8 sides and 8 corners. So our 2D shapes today. So like I say, if you haven't already got some, pause the video, make them ready for our game later. Right. So now I've got some thinking for us to do today. I would like to know, how have these shapes been grouped? There is 2 groups here. There's one group of shapes here, and there is a second group here. How have they been sorted? What might have been the rule for the person that had to sort them? What should they say? In one group, I'd like what sort of shape, and in the other group, I'd like what other sort of shape. Tell the person next to you, what do you think they had? What was the rule for sorting their shapes? Okay, there's a few different answers. You could have sorted them by shape name. So we know that all the shapes in this group here are circles. That's right, they're all circles. All the shapes here, sorted in this group here, are, I hope you said squares. This one was put in to trick you. Okay, it is a square, it's just at a funny angle. If you tilt your head sideways, you might be able to see that they are sorted into squares and circles. They are. You might have said they're sorted by their properties. So they might have been sorted by their properties. So rather than just looking at the name of the shape, you might have thought, what are they like? So you might have said this group is for all the shapes that have no corners. And this group is for all the shapes that do have some corners. You might have said this group is for all of the shapes, okay, all of the shapes that have one corner or more, because we know they all have 4 corners. And this one is for all the shapes that have no corners. You might have said this is the group for all the shapes that have one side, because all of these have one side. And this is the group that have more than one side. So we can talk in lots of different language about shapes and how they've been sorted. It's about thinking about really talking and describing, looking at different ways we can talk about shape. Okay, my next question. Okay, my next question you're going to have to do in the air, okay? Because you can't really, well, you can, but you can't really draw on the screen. So circle the triangles is the first job and tick the rectangles. So in the air, I want you to get your little finger, come over to the screen, and I want you to draw a circle around any of these shapes that are triangles and a tick next to any that are rectangles. So circle the triangles, come over. Which ones are these? Are triangles? Draw a little circle in the air around them. And which one of these are rectangles? Give those rectangles a tick. Okay, while you're doing it in the air, I'm going to do it on the screen. So circle the triangles. How will I know it's a triangle? I don't want to get it wrong. That'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? How will I know that it is a triangle? That's right, a triangle will have 3 sides and 3 corners. So I'll go and check for those shapes that have 3 sides and 3 vertices. So circle the triangles. This is a triangle. It has 3 vertices and 3 sides. I think this one is a triangle too. And I think I'm done. I hope you're all shouting, no, Miss Brown, you're not done. You're just teasing us. There is also a triangle here. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3 triangles. It says tick the rectangles. So these should be rectangles. I'm just going to check. Are they rectangles? Yes, it's got 4 sides and 4 vertices, and it's got those 2 longer sides and 2 shorter sides. I'm going to give that one a tick. This one also has 4 vertices, 4 sides, and it has those 2 shorter ones and 2 longer ones. So I'm going to give that a tick. And the same here. Well done. So I've ticked the rectangles and I've circled the triangles. I'd now like you on a piece of paper, whatever you've got near you, to draw a circle and a square. Can you draw me a circle and a square? If you haven't got some paper, pause me, go get some and come back. Draw me a circle and a square. Okay, off you go. If you haven't already, draw them now. A circle and a square. Think about what the properties of those shapes are. So I'm going to draw my circle first. I know that a circle has no vertices, we're just talking about them, and 1 curvy side. So here I am drawing my circle. Quite tricky drawing it on my screen here, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try not to make it squashed like an oval. I think I managed it just about. There is my circle, 1 curvy side, no corners, no vertices. The other thing I should draw was a square. Now that's tricky because unlike my rectangle, all the sides have to be equal, and that is also quite hard to do on this screen. So I'm going to do a little cheat. I'm going to draw a square with my special square tool. Here it is. There's my square. Fantastic. Okay. And it should be a square because it should have 4 sides, 4 vertices, and those sides should all be the same, equal. Okay, fantastic. I hope you managed it too. So the next thing we're going to do is think about our game we're going to play today. So our 2D shape is a back-to-back game. So earlier, if you haven't already, hopefully you have made your shapes. So you should have shapes like this that you can use. I have got a pentagon. I have got a triangle. I have got a hexagon. I have got a circle. I've got a, I'll give you a minute, there's lots of sides and corners on this one. Octagon. I have got a rectangle, and I've got a square. Now, I don't have a partner, So I'm going to imagine I've got a partner. You can use a real partner. So you go back to back with your partner. So my partner would have their back to me, and I'm going to secretly pick one of these shapes. I wouldn't let my partner see. Okay, so I will pick one and let them see you're my partner. You're back to back with me. You just don't know it yet. So while we're back to back, I'm going to describe to you the shape I've picked, and you are going to say what it is. So I'm holding a shape. This shape has 3 vertices. It has 3 vertices. It also has 3 sides. What shape am I holding? What shape am I holding? I hope you've said, that's right, it's a triangle. Then it would be your turn. So you'd pick a shape and you'd describe it to me, you'd guess. So you'd pick one of your shapes. You might pick this one. How would you describe this shape without telling me the shape name? Think about its properties. So you're going to tell me it has 1 curvy side and no vertices. And I won't see it and I'll be able to guess. It's a circle. That's right, a circle. Okay, so I'd like you now to go and play your game with either a grown-up you have at home, or if you've got a brother or sister, they might want to play with you too. I've also set a little challenge so you can have a go at talking about the language you use when you talk about shapes. But I'm really proud of you. You've done really, really well with our shape learning. We've done 2D shapes for the last 2 days, and next we're going to move on to those 3D shapes. So I will see you all tomorrow to talk a bit more about shape, but this time it'll be 3D shape. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you very soon. You take care. Bye.